first step is getting your material, so you can come in the material room. We're going to locate your 1.5 by 1.5 T6061 aluminum flat bar stock. It's going to usually come in these longer lanes, so you're going to need to use a support at the back here. We're going to open up the vise, okay, and we're going to go ahead and lay our bar stock flat on the table. We're going to use our feed roller support. You're going to have to move this around, possibly adjust the height of this. And I'm going to lightly, for now, lightly snug this into place. Okay. Now we're going to come over on this side. Next step here is going to be to lift this up. Just make sure that emergency stop is pushed in. We're on 0 on the feed rate. We're going to lift this up higher than our material, and it's going to be stuck in place, okay? Now I can loosen this up, feed my material out, use my combination square, set to 8.25, 8 inches and a quarter. I'm going to feed this out and touch off on the end of my flat stock, and I'm going to mark with the Sharpie. Yes, you could line up the blade and eyeball it, but using a Sharpie gives you a nice visual, makes it a little bit easier to do the next step. I'm going to find my cut by lining it up underneath the bandsaw blade. You could also see in the table of the bandsaw where the bandsaw cuts, roughly where it's going to be. So I'm going to line that up with my 8.25 mark. I'm going to make sure my material is flat on the table, and I'm going to firmly snug the vise to the material. The material should be flat on the table and secured between the vise. Next, I could go ahead and I could depress the emergency stop button right here. You see, turn it and it pops out. I can now go ahead and turn on the saw by pressing the saw start button. It's green. Oh, plugged in. Gotta laugh, gotta laugh. Turn that in. Okay, now we're gonna start running. We just put some coolant in the machine, so this coolant's gonna be kind of working its way through here. We have some valves. These you probably don't need to open up, but if you do, this is where you adjust slowly. These coolant valves, you can see that we have coolant now running on our blade. We're gonna let that cycle since we just started the machine. When you guys use it, these should already be open and adjusted, but if not, this is your coolant valve adjustment here. Next thing we're going to do, coolant looks good, it's running. We're going to slowly dial our feed rate dial to 6. Okay? We're slowly easing into it. We're going to leave it at 6. Slowly, the head of this horizontal bandsaw is lowering, and you're going to see it start to make the cut. While you're operating this machine, be sure to remain present. Watch your cut. Don't walk away. Keep your hands, clothing articles, hair free of any moving parts. And be sure to stay with your part while it's being cut. As it feeds through, when it's done and it's completely through the cut, this part's probably going to fall on the ground or drop. If you're careful, you can hold it back here since it's a 6-inch part, or sorry, 8.25 part, and the machine's automatically going to turn off. So all you got to do is wait. You're getting near the end of the cut. Again, part's gonna fall. I caught it. It's 8.25. Your hand's over 8 inches away from that blade. The machine already turned off, right? Automatically turned off. And go ahead. We're gonna lift up on the head. Make sure the blade is higher than the material. We're gonna put the feed rate on 0 and hit emergency stop. So now that the next person who comes up, all they have to do is loosen up the handle, push the material through, and repeat that step.